Hi YouTubers, it's Gizzy Greenfingers here, and in front of you is my Brazilian rain tree. This is about 18 months old. Now I planted it in that pot, and it's not done very well for the last 18 months really, but I bought a new pot for it. And is that the shallowest pot known to man? Possibly, but we're going to try and get that in that. And that's going to be fun, isn't it? With it not dying as well. Let's put that to one side and let's have a closer look and a closer inspection on this Brazilian rain tree and work out why it wasn't doing so well for 18 months in the same pot. Because I have got a speciality Brazilian rain tree, and it's a lot better than this one. Let's say that. But we'll get our forky thing. I expect there's a proper name for that. A bonsai rake, maybe. We'll call it a bonsai rake. So you get your bonsai rake and you just give it a little rakey until you remove all of the medium from the actual root ball. Now, the Brazilian rain tree usually grows outstandingly quickly. But as you can see, this one was dwarfed. It was a little runt. And why is that? Well, I think that's one reason. Obviously, it's root bound. Because it was planted from a seed, ladies and gentlemen, 18 months ago. In that little 5 centimetre pot, whatever that was. It still had the root tap. I never cut the root tap off it. And I just let it grow. But as you can see, it's just wound itself round and round that pot. But I'm just trying to untangle it all and see what we've got for that little shallow pot that I have purchased. Now what I want to do is I want to leave as many fibrous roots on as I can, ladies and gentlemen, because the fibrous roots are what you want to keep on, because that's what's going to get all the nutrients from that minuscule amount of compost that you're going to be putting in this new pot that you've got. Well, we'll just clean that away to one side, and we'll get our little tiny pot and we'll go, yeah, that'll work. Maybe. But we're going to have to wire it in, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have to wire this in. Like, old workmate, old Jason Stevie, he's like, yeah, why do you wire things in pots? Well, you cannot not wire it in this pot, ladies and gentlemen. You got what, a centimetre depth? Yeah, it's a challenge. And I love a challenge, especially on a Tuesday evening. So we've only got two holes for the wire, so it's just going to be a single wire. Now I've got a little bit of paper here, and what I do is I just cover the holes up like that with a little bit of paper, because I'm a cheapskate and I don't want to buy the old gauze that people get. Oh yes, I use gauze to cover my holes up. Well, I don't. I use tissue paper, snotty tissue paper usually, but I've pushed the boat out here and we've got actual paper. Now I'm just looking at that soil because I think that might be my top dressing, ladies and gentlemen. But I've got a bag down the bottom of all my crap stuff, and we're just going to put that on like that. Just trickle it on, just like that. We get the biggest bits out, obviously, because there's not much space. There's not much space whatsoever. I know. I bet you're watching this thinking, "Oh my God, are you gonna do that? That's not gonna come to anything, is it?" Well, you just watch. You just watch. So I'm just trying to anchor it down at the moment, and working out where I can just thread all these different roots that we've got going on that I don't really want to get rid of, to be fair. Now, when you're wiring down a pot, you want to twist it as much as you can, and you want to get your wire cutters or whatever, and then you use that as your anchor to twist it even more. And every twist, every 180, you want to just give it a little wobble on the old trunky. And if it keeps moving like it's a gale force wind, then you got a twist still. And you keep twisting until it feels secure enough in that extremely shallow bonsai pot that you purchased. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know it was going to be that shallow, but I paid 20 quid for that pot. So, through the winter, this tree is going to be going in my tropical tree setup. And with that little shallow pot, I can keep an eye on it every time I come home from work. Come winter, when you're going to work in the dark and you're coming home in the dark and you're depressed, and you open up your tropical tree setup and you're like, oh my God, there's a really shallow pot in my bonsai. Bloody Brazilian rain tree. And it'll make you happy. It will make me happy. But what I'm doing now is I'm reusing that compost, that medium that I had before, and we're just gently applying it on top, just to cover up all those fibrous roots that I was telling you about not that long ago, ladies and gentlemen, not that long ago at all. And it's all about the compactation of it all. That's what I think. So I like to just do a little bit of a compactation. Yes, I may be talking gobbledygook. Yeah, I may be, but this is the end result. And look at that. Does that not look stylish and I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I don't think that looks too bad considering how small that pot is. Look at that. Look at it. You ain't done a bad job. I'll give you that, Kizzy Green Fingers. You ain't done a bad job with that. Oh, look at her. Yep, that is the shallowest pot I've ever used. But if you've enjoyed watching this, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-da for now.